You're a buyer, you see offers over. What does that mean? Does that mean you have to offer over that price? Does that mean you can offer that price? Does that mean you can offer under that price? I'm going to explain all of that today. I suppose this really could be titled, What an Agent Can or Is Willing to Tell You in an Offers Over Scenario. So here's the first disclaimer. I work for the seller. The agent works for the seller, not the buyer. So remember, my job all the time is to get the seller the absolute best value for the property. As a buyer, you may not like that until you're the owner of the property and then go to sell. Then you'll appreciate how that works. So what I'm really saying is that never trust an agent to tell you the actual value of where they think it should be, where they think it'll sell for, where they hope the seller wants to be. Do your own due diligence. You should absolutely educate yourself on the value of property in the area you're looking at. And there's several different definitions of the value in this market, so we're going to talk about that. So the value in what you can prove is called the evidence price. In other words, what previous properties have sold for, that's what this property should be worth. That's called the evidence price. The next price is what I call the logical price. So here's the evidence price. The logical price in this market is higher than the evidence price. So it's basically what you're willing to pay based on logic, knowing we're in a hot real estate market, which is probably going to stay this way to some degree for the next 1, 3, 5, 7, or even 10 years leading up to the Olympics. And the last price I call an emotional price, and this is where it gets really hard for a buyer. Logic, or the evidence price, is here. The logical price is here. The emotional price is from here up. It's how much you're emotionally invested in the property to want to secure it. And you have to remember a few important facts about this. Remember, we're talking about offers over, what that means. So let me explain to you about that emotional price and how it will impact you. See, the question on the emotional price is if you miss out on a property and the value's here, and property in our area is easily going up 1 to 2% per month in the 800K range. That's anywhere from 8,000 to 16,000 a month. That means over 2 or 3 months, you may be looking at 20, 30,000 higher. Is it worth paying that higher emotional price now and securing a property as opposed to missing out here, waiting 3 months and then having to pay this if you still want to buy a property? So that's what you've got to understand about that emotional price. It doesn't make sense in today's market, but when you go ahead 5, 10, 15, 20 years, your kids will say, why didn't you buy 3 or 4 at that price? That's just how it works. And to back up on that a little bit, my wife and I just purchased a little investment property. We probably overpaid by $40,000 for this property. So we paid an emotional price. Here was the evidence. Here was the logical price. We paid this. We paid way more than it was actually worth, even past this logical price and way above the evidence price. Why? Because we're going to hang on to it 10, 20, 30 years. Our kids will eventually get it. We'll look after it. So when you say to me, Daryl, what does offers over mean? Can you tell me what you think it'll sell for? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to dodge all around it, because if I tell you a price and it sells for a lot more, you'll go typical agent undervaluing the property to buyers. If I tell you a price and it sells for a lot less, typical agent overvaluing the property. So there's no way I can win with that argument. So if you try and ask an agent, hey Daryl, it's offers over 800,000, what do you think it'll sell for? I won't answer that question. What I will answer is it won't sell for $1 under that. I know that for sure, because the seller and I have spent a lot of time getting to that price. The offer's over, in this case, 800,000. So that's all I know so far. The seller will not take under 800. How much over they'll accept really depends on how many offers we have and how high the bidding goes. We just had one last weekend. We're in October 2021, sell for about 73,000 over the listed price. I thought the property would go for about 50,000 over the listed price. So if I told everyone that, I would have had a lot of unhappy people. So you can't depend on the agent, and the agent can't really tell you. That's what you have to remember about offers over. So it's really still all up to you. You can ask the agent as many different ways as you like, and people do, but I won't actually answer that question except to say it has to be over the 800,000. In this case, offers over 800. $1 under that will automatically be rejected. So that's it for this week. So if you want to buy, give me a call. I'll definitely help you. If you want to sell, we have an 11-phase system which gets spectacular results, including offers before it ever goes on the market. And if you're a landlord, would love to manage your property and show you what we do differently for real estate from the management perspective. That's it. Have a great week.